In this video, we'll review how to set up and solve equations for arithmetic and geometric means. The arithmetic means are the missing terms in an arithmetic sequence. Geometric means are the missing terms in a geometric sequence. For arithmetic, we know that we'll use repeated addition. To do this, we're going to need to figure out how many times I'll have to add a difference to go from the fifth term to the eighth term. I'll have to do it once, twice, 3 times. To set up an equation for this, we take the fifth term, 27. We add 3 of the differences, and we end up with 216. The equation for this would be 27 plus 3d equals 216. To solve it, we'll need to subtract 27 from both sides. We get 3d equals 189. We'll next divide by 3 and see that the constant difference is 63. To fill in the missing terms, we just add 63 to the previous term. So if we take 27 and add 63, we get 90. Take 90 plus 63, and you get 153. It's always a good idea to check and make sure that the answer that you got is correct. The way to do that is to take 153 and add 63. It is 216, indicating that we did the problem correctly. Geometric sequences use repeated multiplication. To do this, we need to figure out how many times I need to multiply the first term to get to the fourth term. I'll need to do it once, twice, 3 times. I can also do that by taking the 4 minus the 1 up top. 4 minus 1 is 3, indicating that we're going to have an r to the third power. If we take 27 and multiply by r to the third power, we get 216. The equation for this is 27 times r cubed equals 216. To solve it, we'll divide both sides by 27. We get r cubed equals 8. I now need to solve the equation by undoing the r to the third power. I can do this one of 2 different ways. I can take either the third root of 8, written like this, or I can figure out what is 8 raised to the 1/3 power, like that. The answer is 2. I could use my calculator to get that, or reason it out in my head. I know that 2 times 2 times 2 gives me 8. Therefore, the third root of 8 is 2. To find the missing terms, I'm going to multiply the previous term by 2. To find the second term, I take 27 and multiply by 2. I get 54. Take 54 and multiply by 2. I get 108. Again, it's a good idea to check your answer. 108 times 2 is 216, indicating we've done the problem correctly. Now let's look at 2 harder examples. In these examples, we have a gap, and I don't know how many boxes are in between. I can't count them. Instead, I need to look at the terms that indicate what I have to do. To go from the 5th term to the 9th term, I need to figure out how many differences I'm adding. I could try extending the table to fill this in, but it's easier just to say, what is 9 minus 5? This tells me that I have 4 differences in between. So if I take 6 and add 4 differences, I should get 38. To write an equation for this, I would say it's 6 plus 4d equals 38. I can now solve this equation. If I subtract 6 from both sides, I get 40 equals 32. Divide by 4, and I get that d is 8. This tells me that this arithmetic sequence has a common difference of 8. To find the 10th term, I would take 38 and add 8. To find the 4th term, I would have to subtract it because I'm going the other way. 6 minus 8 is negative 2. 38 plus 8 tells me that the 10th term is going to be 46. To do the geometric sequence this way, I need to take the 3rd and 8th term. To figure out how many times I'm multiplying to go between them, I go 8 minus 3. 8 minus 3 is 5, telling me that I'm going to multiply 5 of the r's together. That would be r to the 5th power. To set up my equation, I'm going to take the beginning term 2, which is what I get for when f of 3, multiply by r to the 5th power, and I get 64. This would be 2r to the 5th equals 64. To solve it, you divide both sides by 2, and you get r to the 5th power equals 32. To undo the 5th power, you would either take the 5th root of 32, or you'll take 32 and raise it to the 1/5 power. If you're not sure what this answer is, you might need to use your calculator. To reason it out, you have to figure out what number times itself, times itself, times itself, times itself gives you 32. 2 to the 5th power is 32. So therefore I know that r equals 2. Again, I could use my calculator to do this. To find the missing terms, I will need to multiply 64 times 2 to get the 9th term, And to find the second term, I will take 2 and divide by 2 because I'm going the other direction. I need to use the opposite of multiplying. Again, 2 divided by 2 is 1. 64 times 2 is 128. These fill in the missing terms. I hope this helps you to understand how to set up and solve equations for arithmetic and geometric means.